Say you had a man and he said, hey, when you go to escape, I would like you to dress modestly. What would you say to that?
Sorry, honey, we're breaking up.
Same.
No man is ever gonna tell me what to do, how to dress, how to talk, nothing, no.
What if you're dating for like a year and he's the one?
Well, he's not the one if he's telling me what to do.
Exactly, 100%.
So you'll break up after a year?
Yeah.
If you can get it together, then maybe we'll stay, but like, I am dressing the way I want to dress.
He's showing his true colors by telling us what to wear.
But isn't he worth it though, to like listen to him a little bit?
No man is ever gonna tell me.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And guys, I tell you what, some of these clips just show modern women are going to be ending up alone with their cats and boxed wine when they are 35 years of age. And speaking of being alone, guys, that is exactly what we are going to be covering here on today's episode. We are going to be taking a look at the female dating strategy website. Now, female dating strategy used to be a subreddit, guys. I used to get a lot of content over there because, to be honest, a lot of them are just straight up delusional. They've gone and made their own website now, which is fantastic. We can see articles, we can see stories. And right here we have a woman who says, I give up. She says, I think I'm officially done on finding the right person altogether. I am 30 years of age. I don't drive. I don't have a car. I left a city that pretty much chewed me up and spat me out after a year of some crappy jobs. And with my weight fluctuating and no money to get stylish clothes or makeup, I think it's just time for me to accept that I'll never find happiness or a family of my own. Guys, a lot of these girls who have the boss babe attitude, who have the attitude of I'm a queen, I can do whatever I want, this is exactly where they end up, okay? They haven't got their lives together, they don't have a car, they don't have a license, they're 30 years of age, they're overweight, they've done too much partying, they find out that the city has chewed them up and spat them out. Basically, they were allergic to hard work because they've been screwing around this entire time, and now they want a good man. They want a guy who they can have a family with, a man who they can settle down with, only to divorce and take for his possessions later on. And guys, this is where a lot of modern women go, unfortunately, right? They get to this age and they've been jumping up and down saying that men can't control me, I can do whatever I want, which is true. Hey, you can go out there, you can do whatever the hell you want, you know, you can wear whatever you want, you don't have to listen to your boyfriend, you don't have to listen to your husband, but when that 3-0 comes knocking, things start to get a little bit rough. She says, I think it's just time for me to accept that I'll never find happiness or a family of my own. I'll never have a career to feel pride in or anything. I give up. I am tired. I don't want to fight this fate that's loomed over my head since I realized I was considered weird and ugly as a teenager. What triggered me was finding out that a longtime crush of mine has another child and a partner. For the longest time, I stupidly thought he was single, and I fed my delusions with the hopes of seeing him and letting my feelings known. But reality has settled in, and it's over. I've always seemed to suffer from these painful, unrequited experiences, and I am just exhausted. I don't want to hope anymore. I don't even want to feel. I envy people who describe themselves as aromantic. I truly don't want to feel love after this. So here we have a woman, guys, who has gone out here. She's chased this one bad guy, one bad boy for a long period of time, hoping to get a family out of him. And then this guy has not given her commitment. He's probably said that he's aromantic, and then he's gone and had another child with a different woman altogether. Oh boy, that must sting. And guys, this is why I say, you know, you can go out there, you can be a 304, you can wear whatever it is that you want to wear, but guys are not going to wife you up. They are not interested in having a long-term relationship with you. Good to see how that works out, isn't it? So let's take a look at some of these comments here, and these are truly hilarious, guys. We have an individual here called Fantastic Solo who says, sis, the only love you need in your life is self-love. I understand that you're tired. How can one not be? The world is cruel to women. Let me just highlight this right here. The world is cruel to women, apparently. We can't age in peace. We can't find love. We must marry and become mothers. We must have it all, except we don't. I would argue you don't have to do any of these things, you fantastic independent queen. You do not have to marry. You don't have to find love. You don't have to become mothers. You can go out there, you can be single and alone with your cats, and nobody's going to care. You know, that's what you fought for. That is what you are welcome to do. And now that you have it, you're crying about the fact that you have these options available to you. I remember, guys, I think I've cited this statistic a bunch of times in the last few videos here, but men are less interested in getting married in the year 2022. It does not benefit men. Marriage benefits women exclusively. There is no reason in the year 2022 for a man to marry a woman unless he's, I don't know, into gambling with his assets and future kids, which I don't know why a man would be, but it is what it is. This girl here says, a partner, a family, those things will just make you miserable, apparently. I say focus on your career, because that's for you. And that's important for you to be financially independent and have resources. We all need money after all to take care of yourself. That's the most important thing. So you're right to give some things up, but not all of them. Don't waste your energy trying to find a man, because that's too exhausting and demotivating. You need to find yourself above all. Guys, I tell you what, when girls make posts like these, what they're really doing is they're telling on themselves. You know why? Because finding a man is not hard. It really isn't. All you have to do, this is amazing, for the 3 women who are watching this channel right now, okay, you could get your notepads out. In order to find a man, all you have to do is be pleasant and not terrible looking. It really is not that difficult. Girls want to pretend like it's the hardest thing in the world to get a guy and no guy wants them and things are very difficult. The men that you want don't want you. Okay, but most men are not against relationships. They're not against committing to most girls. The unfortunate truth is that most women treat men like trash. Most women treat men as though they are completely invisible. So when girls come out here and say things like these, I have absolutely no sympathy at all. She says, don't give up on being happy. Take care of your mental health, as you sound very much depressed. In the end, we only have ourselves, so we should treat us as the most important person ever. What a way to rationalize narcissism, guys. You know, don't worry about family. Don't worry about finding a committed relationship and caring about your partner. None of that, okay? The most important thing is that we look after ourselves. Like, guys, there's something to be said for looking after yourself, but look how narcissistic this is. We should treat us as the most important person ever. In the end, we only have ourselves. In the end, how about you have a family? How about that? How about you have a man by your side? But of course, those things seem more and more unattainable for these women as the days go by. Let's take a look at this comment down here. What is this flower, man? This is giving me an aneurysm. Gina here says, sending you hugs. I know the feeling of shame, inadequacy, and hopelessness you get when you realize that the men that broke you are doing just fine in their life and you're perpetually struggling through the 1,000 shades of PTSD that they gave you or made worse. Yeah, damn those emotionally scarring men, those men who won't commit to us, how difficult it is to deal with them. And guys, this is crazy to me that girls will use PTSD to describe men not committing to them. Like, this is such an insult to the word. There have been dudes who have gone out here and fought wars, served their country. Those are the men who are deserving of using this, you know, this word right here. But girls will be like, man, I had a bad boyfriend. I had PTSD. You don't have PTSD, okay? Veterans of war have PTSD, not you. Let's carry on. I'm having a lot of these feelings this very week after a very long time, and I forgot how much they suck. I haven't found the permanent cure for this besides the usual therapy advice, but in the past month I had a powerful reframing of this phenomenon thanks to Gold Ust's Woman's Reading List on limerence. Man, this sounds like some content for the channel, doesn't it? In these books about limerence, Lucy Bain says that when we end up in unrequited situations, we are attracted to something about that person that you want to be. Before reading this, it never made sense to me why I would keep comparing myself and my accomplishments with those of my exes and crushes of all people. But now I'm like, oh, these men are more like a compass to what I want in life rather than the measure of my value. I find it interesting how a lot of these girls will seem to think like, you know, they'll want to have like a career and you know, be a boss babe and a queen, thinking that somehow it'll help them with relationships. Now, if these girls want these things simply for themselves, that's totally cool. But I just want to highlight the fact that men do not give a crap about women's careers for the most part. Like they really do not. If you're out here and you're looking for a husband, you're looking for a long-term partner, if a guy's considering marrying you, like he's not dudes don't go out here thinking, man, she's got to have a stable income for her to be my wife, especially if the guy's successful. Like, guys really, for the most part, don't care about your career, okay? A lot of guys just care about, are you pleasant to be around? Are you respectful? Are you going to be a headache or not? And that's pretty much it. And are you bad looking or not? Like, what it really comes down to is have some manners, be nice, be good to be around, and take a bath. It really is not that difficult. But let's continue here. Tosa here says, you have the unique opportunity to free yourself from the lodestone of finding the right man. A lodestone, excuse me, of finding the right man that's around your neck. Once I gave up and started focusing on myself, life got better. Better jobs, better clothes, nice perfume and makeup, a great gym membership in New York City, where I could go to the saltwater pool and sit in the steam sauna anytime I wanted to. The pressure women out on themselves and that society foists upon us to find a great man when almost none of the men are great or even looking for anything serious. This is what I'm talking about, guys. When I say that women will just tell on themselves when they write crap like this, there are plenty of men who are actually interested in something serious. Okay, it's just that men that you want don't want anything serious with you. She says this just wastes too much of your time and energy. Focus on you and finding a job that suits you and pays the bills. Get a hobby that's positive for your health and well-being, and don't worry about what men want, like, or think. Make yourself into the best you that you can be. I love this sentence right here, guys. Because girls will say, man, finding a man is so hard. Why can't I find a man? And this girl is literally advocating to not care about what men like, what men think, or what men want. That's like me, guys, going out here and saying, you know what? I want to make a lot of money, right? I want to open up a business, but screw what the customers want. You know, screw what everyone else wants. I'm just going to make money. Money's going to fall from the sky to me, and I'm not going to have to consider what customers want. I'm not going to have to consider what other people want. Okay, it's absolutely amazing, guys, how girls will go out here with this attitude of like, yeah, you know, dating is so difficult, I can't seem to find a man. But at the same time, they'll simultaneously just completely ignore what men are saying that they're interested in. Okay, maybe if you want to have a man, a good guy who's going to love and care for you, maybe the first step would actually be considering what men are interested in women. And here's a big clue here. Men are not looking at your career when they're choosing whether or not to date you. But guys, speaking of wanting a man, we're going to wrap up today's episode with this particular Reddit story here, and I found this to be immensely hilarious. Okay, this was posted 3 days ago on the Dating Over 40 subreddit. We have a woman here who says, I want a man who ... has never been married and has no kids. I want him to have to come to terms with not having children, but also hypothetically super down if a miracle baby were to happen. I want him to have a job that he likes enough and that pays well enough to provide a sense of security, but not a job that rules his life. Specifically, I'd like for him to be available most evenings and weekends to be home with me. I'd like him to have nice, welcoming parents, maybe a sibling or two that we only have to see 1 or 2 or 3 times a year. I'd like for him to be taller than I am. I'm 5'7" and in good shape, and also totally okay with spending pretty much every Saturday laying on the couch watching hours and hours of some cringy reality television show. Sometimes he'd get up off the couch to take care of all the handyman jobs that need to get done around my house. Sometimes I'd get up off the couch to do a little gardening or to vacuum or to do some laundry. Our combined incomes would mean that we could travel comfortably once a year or so to some faraway place that we've never been before, as well as work towards living debt-free. So this is a woman. We're going to pause this here, guys, because this has just gotten, within the space of 30 seconds, this has just gotten incredibly stupid. So she wants a guy who's taller than her. She wants a guy who's in shape, a guy who makes money, who doesn't need to continue working, a guy who's also a handyman, who's okay with not having children, and who's interested in committing to her, and who's not married, and who has no children. These are just some of the things that she's looking for, guys. Guys, when girls write crap like this, it just amazes me how it doesn't go through their head that they'll be alone forever when they write these things. He says, we'd go on walks on warm summer nights to restaurants where we'd have dinner and drinks, and then we'd be walking home and we'd say silly things to each other and laugh about how goofy we both are. and it would be fun to play together. He would understand and not take it personally when I struggled to regulate my emotions and have an angry outburst or a shutdown freeze moment due to my self-diagnosed CPTSD after years of therapy. He will be interested in mental health and committed to learning about himself and his own mental health journey. I want a man who has been through some crap, a dysfunctional family dynamic, perhaps, as this would be relatable, but is still somehow emotionally and physically available and attractive to me. He's probably out there, right? You know, there's a good chance that this this is complete and utter satire, but it's actually incredibly accurate. Okay, so we don't know whether or not this is satire, guys, but, you know, looking at this right here, this is actually what a lot of women want. You know, they want all of these things bundled into one dude. They want a guy who's going to put up with their crap and tolerate things. They want a guy who's going to make a lot of money, who's going to care for them. And then they get surprised when they're like 40 plus years of age, and they end up like the previous girl we covered, or excuse me, she was 30 when she made this particular article here. And I mean, this thing is titled, "I Give Up," and she can't seem to find a guy. It's absolutely amazing. I'm going to run this clip back one more time, guys, if I can find this right here, and then we're going to wrap up today's episode. I'm actually not going to run it through, but I will pull it up momentarily so we can take a look. This is exactly where the woman in red is headed. Okay, alone with the cats, 30 plus years of age, no family, but hey, at least she's perhaps got a bit of a career, and maybe that will comfort her as she ages to the end. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, guys, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. What do you think of the first clip that we played at the start of today's episode? Do you guys have any thoughts, any comments that you would like to share? And as always, guys, make sure that you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace. Yo guys, Past Taylor here. I just want to say thank you if you made it to the end of today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our other content creators over here at Fiend Gang, Hidan from Peace of Mind, and Detective Warg. Their channels will be linked in the video description. They've been putting out consistent content for you guys to enjoy, so make sure that you go and show them some love. Their channels will be linked below. Also, guys, if you are interested in supporting the channel, make sure that you come and join us for free over on Locals or Patreon. On Locals and Patreon, you guys get access to archived video content that is no longer available here on YouTube. And supporters also get access to exclusive videos where we cover different kinds of topics that you won't see me talk about here on YouTube, because to be honest, YouTube just really doesn't like it. There's video topics such as how broken families are created and how men can avoid it, bad traits that men can have, the reason why women chase married men, etc. So if you're interested in supporting, make sure that you go and check that out. And lastly, guys, if you're interested in getting a character made like mine, be sure to hit up our artist at the Gecko Ninja. He is linked in the video description as well. He's been doing art for Fiend Gang for quite some time, so if his stuff interests you guys, make sure that you hit him up for a commission. As always, he will be linked below the video. But with all that being said, guys, make sure that you take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next one, for real this time. Peace.